candidate for Republican, Princeton Township Council, a Republican, which in the 60s was no big deal. Now it's a rare animal, Douglas E. Miles.
Well, welcome to our high-tech studios.
Good evening,
this is the big stage. Freshly torn up carpet.
If you do anything that is braver than this, I don't know. But we're right there.
Thank you.
I have to start off, because it's my show, I have my questions. And I know that Republicans, I've always said in New Jersey, different from Republicans other places, but I have to ask, do you believe in evolution?
Do I believe in evolution? I believe that creatures and living systems are influenced by nature and forces in nature, but I also believe that there was a creator of life in the universe.
Adam doesn't believe in evolution.
I believe in evolution.
Of his questions. You stepped on my line.
Okay, and
you're not a pro.
This isn't serious politics.
I don't know, but all these...
Get used to it. This is the deal.
No, that's serious politics, because I know it's local politics, and we were saying before potholes aren't Democrat or Republican, but I still, I remember seeing the Republican debate when the candidates were running for president, and people were scared to death of that question. When they're asked, do you believe in evolution, and I guess they owe it to their right-wing reactionary base to be very careful when answering it, and I found that. To me, I think evolution is just a fact.
Half the country doesn't believe in it.
Copernicus is still in jail. Okay, we'll start from there.
You don't believe in your handwriting.
No. You're running as a Republican, but...
a Republican for what? Let's repeat that.
Princeton Township Council.
Okay.
Which I'm all for, because for the longest time we've only had one party rule. Even though I'm a proud Democrat, I'm a knee-jerk Democrat, I've only voted Democrat. I just think it's good to have new ideas and some competition.
Yeah, look, the success of any political system, Adam, as we all know, is based on different opinions coming together and working out the best possible solutions. And that great inner strength of the American democracy is lost when you have de facto, even though it's selected, de facto one-party rule in any political system, in any jurisdiction. And I think you're absolutely right. This town, the two towns here, we have a borough and we have a township, both need the benefit of bicameral two-party, or if it were three-party influence on all issues.
Well, we all know what the differences between Republicans and Democrats are on a national and state level, but on a local level like this, how much do those differences even really exist?
Well, they may in the background ideologically, so that for the voter that hasn't done the homework on the candidates, if they have to make a last-minute decision about who may wish to spend less and tax less, they might say a Republican, though there are conservative Democrats that could have that position. Or if someone wants a more expansive federally administered health care program, they're more likely to be a Democrat than a Republican.
That's more of a Democratic issue, right?
But those issues really, as you just pointed out, are not part of life in Princeton as a committeeman or a councilman in the borough. And what we really need to get back to are individuals who are willing to bring their marketplace skills, their ideas, their innovation to administering town services, town government, sewer, water, law enforcement, education in the best way possible for the least amount of money. And we are not exempt from any other New Jersey town and thousands of towns and municipalities across this country from having spent more than we really can afford to spend on lots and lots of things. And so I'm certainly coming from a position, as is my running mate Stuart Duncan, that we need to find the ways for Princeton Township, in my case, to spend less money. And to do that without depriving us of the most essential services. Certainly, fire, police are right up there. But there are ways to begin to work away at the high cost of running local government. And I'd like to have the opportunity to roll up my sleeves and get to work making that happen.
What would you do if elected, though? What would be your first thing to do?
From a fiscal standpoint?
Yes. Physical.
Every working department in township government starts the beginning of the budget year with no money. They come forward on a zero-based approach and tell us what they need and why they need it. That's the first step in running. I mean, corporations that are trying to keep costs down.
Which is your background.
Yeah, it definitely is private sector business, largely financial services for approaching 30 years. But that's how the private sector does it. And these are things that apply in public life and in governing towns and cities and states. Governor Christie has drawn lots of criticism for his tough approach to spending, but I know many Democrats that are cheering the fact that he's doing what he's doing. It's been long overdue. New Jersey has allowed, through at least 4 to 5 gubernatorial administrations, the pension of New Jersey teachers and educators. My mother was one for 40 years in Summit, New Jersey. She's now retired. To have their pensions underfunded by, almost $300 billion.
Let's say that was Republican and Democratic administration.
No question. That's been a political faux pas of the largest magnitude by all parties in the last 30 years in this state. And that is nothing to be proud of. Okay, so we have got to get back to basics on how we spend our money, how we care for our citizens. We can't deliver services from A to Z, but we can deliver the services that people need. But we certainly have to do it with a close eye on how we are spending money.